I'm Quinn Buckner, TV analyst for the Pacers, and today we're here to share some exciting news that involves the NBA, the Pacers, and the entire local community. Indianapolis has played host to some of the most prestigious sporting events in America. Of course, there's the annual Indianapolis 500. Seems like you can't go anywhere in the city without running into an Indy car. Even right here in Bankers Life Fieldhouse. In recent years, this proud city has had the Final Four for the men's and the women. Here in Indianapolis, we've had the Super Bowl. And today we focus on the National Basketball Association. And we're honored today to be joined by some very special guests. And it's time to meet them right now. First, he's the President and Chief Operating Officer of Pacers Sports and Entertainment, Rick Fuson. We like Rick. We like Rick. Our next guest is President of Basketball for the Pacers, Kevin Pritchard. Now, please welcome the mayor of the great city of Indianapolis, Mayor Joe Hogsett. And joining us today is the governor of the great state of Indiana, Eric Holcomb. He is the owners of Pacers Sports and Entertainment, Herb Simon. And finally, the gentleman who joined the NBA back in 1992 and now in his 5th season as the commissioner, here to make today's official announcement, please welcome Adam Silver.
Thank you very much, Quinn. I thought this was supposed to be a secret. But it is my pleasure to announce officially that the 2021 NBA All-Star Game will take place here at the Bankers Life Fieldhouse. So a few thank yous are in order. Governor Holcomb, thank you very much for the support of you, your staff, and the entire state. We're looking forward to being here. And of course, Mayor Hogsett, thank you. Again, your city's been terrific to work with. We do this all over the country, and the reception has been fantastic. From the Pacers organization, let me begin with Herb Simon. Herb is the longest standing owner in the NBA. He's not the oldest owner in the NBA, but he's the longest standing owner. And Herb became the owner with his brother Melvin in 1983, and shortly after we had our 35th NBA All-Star Game here in Indiana. So that was in 1985, so more than 30 years ago. And interestingly enough, that when we come back in 2021, it will be our 70th All-Star Game in the history of the league. So we didn't exactly plan it that way, but thank you very much. Kevin Pritchard, the new president of basketball operations here at the Pacers. You're new in that job, but you've done everything in this league. You've played, you've coached, general managed, now as the president. Thank you very much for working with us on this. And of course, Rick Fuson, who runs one of the great operations in all the league as the president of business operations here and who runs this building. Thank you again for your work. Jim Morris, who is the vice chair, who's a legendary host of all of us when we're here. If you've never been to one of his dinner parties, I highly recommend them. We're doing that later tonight, so thank you, Jim. We really appreciate that. And just a few more things from me. A lot has changed since we were last here for an NBA All-Star Game in the 1980s, and that is that then it really was the NBA All-Star Game. It was an event that took place one day or a portion of one day, and it was one game. It then extended to All-Star Weekend over the years, where we, of course, added those additional contests, the three-point shot, slam dunk, and those other events. But what it's become now, modern era, is truly All-Star week of activities, and that's where we look forward to working with the city and the state and the organization. There'll be activities throughout the community. We saw a presentation this afternoon from Rick and Kevin and their staffs on how you intend to sort of reinterpret Indianapolis, and which is truly the heartland of basketball here in Indiana. I think this is, in terms of if cities and states have brands, part of the brand of this city and state is the sport of basketball. This is a game and a series of activities that will be televised, if there's still such thing as television in 2021. Technology is changing quickly, but somehow it will be transmitted to over 215 countries and territories. So there's no doubt for that week in February in 2021, the epicenter of basketball in the world will be here in Indiana. So with that, I want to thank all of you very much for your support, and I'll be here lots of times between now and 2021, but I look forward to seeing you all then as well. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Silver. No one is more excited about today's news than our next guest, who, along with his late brother Melvin, purchased the Pacers in 1983 to ensure that they stay here in Indianapolis. Let's hear from the owner, Mr. Herb Simon.
How do you do? You know, it's always an honor to have the commissioner, one of the greatest commissioners of all time, visit our city. So anytime he comes here, it's a great day. But when he comes here and gives us an all-star game, that's a really great day. Thank you very much. Very much. I remember that, I was still here at 1985, right? It was really not a big deal. We didn't have, they gave it to us. We didn't have to beg them. Now it's become such an important thing, we really had to beg them to get this. And last All-Star game, I took my son, one of my sons, to New Orleans, and the difference between 1985 and the week they put on now is so incredible, so professional, so entertaining, that you're all in for a great, great week when we bring the NBA All-Star Game here, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure you'll all enjoy it. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simon. Our next speaker is the only person who can possibly boast about making a hoop, making a basket in 92 counties. Now, that had to be quite a feat, I might add. How many shots did it take you? 92, got it. More importantly, he is the fifth, I beg your pardon? We signed him up. Well, Kevin wants to sign you up. More importantly, he is the 51st governor of the state of Indiana. Please welcome Eric Holcomb.
Wow, what an exciting day. Thank you, Quinn. It's obviously not every day I get to be introduced by an Indiana legend and icon. I feel like I should be the one who is introducing him. Commissioner Silver, we're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're back home in Indiana again. Thank you for choosing Indianapolis as the host city for the 2021 NBA All-Star Game. As you know and you alluded to, basketball truly is and really is part of our DNA here in the Hoosier State. And I don't know of any other governor in the country that can boast that they have a basketball court at their residence. I have a full court at my address, and it is because we do grow basketball here in the state of Indiana. And as you said, it's not just our brand or our profile, but it may be, in fact, our greatest state export, as evidenced by Larry Bird. I can't go to a country around the world without hearing about the Indy 500 and Larry Bird. So the word is out and about, and from the Pacers to the Fever to our historic college programs at Indiana University and Purdue and Notre Dame, Butler, ISU, IUPUI, Hanover colleges run this last year, I might add, and the list just goes on and on and on to our famous high school boys and girls championship games. Basketball here is something that literally movies are made about. And just admit it, you've all seen Hoosiers 1,000 times, and so has everyone else around the world. So 2021 is really setting up to be a extravaganza, a 2-month-long celebration of basketball. I just can't think of anything that gets better than that. We'll kick things off with the NBA All-Star Game, and then we'll have our high school boys and girls championship games a few days after that. Then we'll have the Big Ten women's basketball tournament, and that'll be followed by the NCAA men's Final Four. And of course, that'll be followed by a deep run from the Pacers and another successful Fever season. So to all of you outside of Indiana, I would just recommend right now, go online and book your hotel and your flights for that entire 2 months. It takes a lot of teamwork, I get it. It takes a lot of teamwork to become an NBA champion, and it also takes a lot of teamwork to host world-class events like this. And I just want to put a shout out right now to everyone that made this happen and that will make it happen. From the Pacers, obviously, starting with, to the Visit Indiana, to Visit Indy, to downtown, Indy downtown, and most importantly, those army of volunteers that do this time and time again, that prove we are the very best at exporting our Hoosier hospitality. So again, thank you, Commissioner Silver, and congratulations to the Simons, to the entire Pacers sports and entertainment team. And I cannot wait for the 2021 All-Star Game tip-off. The ball is in our court. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Governor Holcomb. Now please welcome to a podium a man whose past roles include Secretary of State, U.S. Attorney for the state of Indiana, and he is now the 49th mayor of the city of Indianapolis, Mr. Joe Hogsett.
Well, good afternoon. You know, when I was told that Quinn Buckner would be introducing the mayor of Indianapolis, I thought I'd have the afternoon off. Because from what I've been hearing, there's a new mayor in town, and his name is Victor Oladipo. I'm only kidding. I hope. It's a great day to be with all of you as we celebrate the NBA All-Star Game coming in Indianapolis in 2021. And I would like to thank the Commissioner for joining us today, to Herb, friend of many years, and to my friend and colleague, Governor Holcomb. You know, like many Hoosier youngsters, I grew up with my own dreams of bringing the ball up the court. But for some reason that I still don't completely understand, Coach Bob Knight thought that Buckner was better than me. I don't know, Quinn. Maybe we'll have to do a one-on-one. So while fate took me a different route, there's nothing I enjoy more than being Indianapolis's biggest cheerleader. And we sure do have a lot to look forward to, because ever since our community came together 30 years ago and orchestrated the Pan American Games, Indianapolis has been the epicenter for spectacle. And we're ready to once again solidify that status as the coming years read like a superfan's wish list. The Big Ten Men's Football Championship through 2021, return of the Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament in 2020, the NCAA Men's Final Four in 2021, the College Football Playoff Championship in 2022, and now we have one more to add to that list, 2021, when our great city hosts the NBA All-Star Game. Now that is indeed an all-star lineup, one that won't only entertain fans around the world, but will also significantly uplift the city of Indianapolis, as the All-Star Game will bring with it an economic impact of more than $100 million for our community. That's a lot of money. That's why this is more than just good news to sports fans. Because just as the players display their talents, Indianapolis will be ready to showcase our second-to-none hospitality, our venues, and our amenities to the entire world yet again. Indeed, the energy here this afternoon is only a taste of what's to come as we get ready to welcome many of the world's finest athletes to the crossroads of America. I'm so proud. And Commissioner, should you need a last-minute substitution for the All-Star Game, it's never too late to fulfill this Hoosier's dreams. Thank you for being here. It's a great day for this great city.
I don't think the commissioner is going to quite get to you on that spot you're looking for. Just thought I'd let you know that. Our next speaker is a Bloomington, Indiana native. After a successful front office career with the Portland Trail Blazers, he came home and joined the Pacers organization in 2011. He has served as the team's director of player personnel and general manager. He is now the president of basketball operations. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kevin Pritchard.
Well, it's really a great honor to be in front of everybody. So, commissioners, thank you so much. Governor, it's great to have you here. Mayor, it's been fun doing a few of these together with you, getting to know you. I'm going to give you a little bit different perspective. I'm a native Hoosier. I remember the All-Star Game back in 1985. I remember the epic dunk contest between Dominique and Michael Jordan. But I don't know if you guys remember, there was an Indiana Hoosier that was in that dunk contest that did a dunk called the Statue of Liberty. Do you guys remember that? Anybody remember that? Most amazing dunk I've ever seen in my life. And every Indiana Hoosier under 15 went home and tried to do that same dunk on an 8-foot goal, and I still couldn't. So it was a great dunk contest. It was epic. I remember that Ralph Sampson was the MVP of that game. I think there's somebody in the front row that should have gotten it. I think he's still a little awkward about that and is mad at the commissioner. I do want to thank, because I get this mental image in my mind right now, Larry Bird, IndyCar, Fifth Avenue. And sometimes I go to bed at night and that's still in my mind, but I know, Commissioner, that had a big impact because he is Indiana basketball. He lives and breathes it, and it is bone marrow deep for him, and that's what we love. The state of Indiana loves basketball. We love Indiana, so we're so proud to have it, and we are going to put on a great show for you. So thank you for having it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Now, if anyone knows how to bring a major sporting event to Indianapolis and what it means to this city, it is our final speaker of the day. I happen to play football with him, by the way, just in case. He's a member of the Pacers organization since 1984. He's the president and chief operating officer for Pacers Sports and Entertainment, Mr. Rick Fuson.
Let me tell you about Quinn. I worked for Herb for almost 35 years, but I've known Quinn for over 40 because we did play football at IU together. He was a star and I was a walk-on. But he's made us so proud over the years, and to be working side by side with him so many years later is really an honor. I am the last speaker, and so I'm going to be maybe like they have at the Academy Awards. Somebody gets up and wants to thank everybody in the world, and all of a sudden the music starts playing and they hook you. I'm hopefully, since I run the building, that they won't hook me or the music, but I got a lot to say and thank a lot of people. And I do want to start with the commissioner. Herb talked about begging him. It's true. Every time I saw the commissioner at every meeting that we went to, I was right there like a little puppy going, Commissioner, we really want to have it here. We really want to have it here. So I can't thank you enough. But he has a staff that really is amazing, and we worked with him. Talked to many of them almost every day. Mike Bass is here, and Kelly Flato. Kelly Flato has worked with us all along the way, right here in front, in the middle, on our trips to London. When we went to London, she tried to help guide us to do the right things related to the bid, and so we're very grateful. Peter Fink and Barbara D. Cristofero and Kenny Payne and Brett Sellers and Rick Buchanan, those last two, the lawyers. So we were still dealing with them as late as yesterday, but it got all worked out. And to Herb Simon, who's let me work for him for all that time. I had the great honor of being the operational person for the All-Star game in 1985 for the Pacers, and to be able to book in part of my life, to be able to serve through this All-Star game in 2021 is really an honor to me. And so I thank you for all you've done for the city and for all of us as employees and for giving us this opportunity. So I'd like for everybody to give her one more round of applause. You know, we started talking about this over 2 years ago. Herb said, maybe it's time that we get in it. We had a few times over the years where we said, we got a lot of other things to do, Herb. And so we finally sat together and said, yeah, it's time to do it, so let's go after it. And we did. And it's been almost a year since we've been working on this bid. And as all of you well know, Indianapolis, I think, does things the right way. We just don't do things independently. We call our friends, we call all those people that we know can help put on a great event for Indiana and for Indianapolis, and that's what happened here. I just want to name a number of those people who 9 months ago or so got in a room and said, yes, we can do this, we can find a way to do this, and we'll help in any way that we can. So let me start with the CIB. Kobe Wright, Barney Levingood, and Melina Kennedy. I'm so grateful to the CIB who was in that room and so helped us so very much. We appreciate it. Thank you. The folks from Visit Indy, Leonard Hoops, Shanette Quisner, Jeff Robinson, and Susie Townsend, unbelievable group who pushed this city across this world, named the #1 convention center by USA Today. I mean, it's unbelievable. Who thought Indianapolis would be the #1 convention center and city any place in this country? But congratulations, and we thank you. To my friends at Indiana Sports Corporation, Ryan Vaughn and Susan Boffman. These folks have put on so many events. We work with them on the Big Ten and so many other things. I'm very grateful to you. Susan Boffman has probably done more bids in this city than anybody. So we thank you very much for all you do for us. Mr. Governor, you have a wonderful staff. I know you know great people who came right together to help us. Our friend Earl Good and Jim Schellinger and Jane Jankowski, who answered the call and came and said, yes, we'll support this and we'll do what we can to do so. We thank you very much for those friends from the state of Indiana. Mr. Mayor, likewise, you have a great staff. As you well know, and your Chief of Staff, Thomas Cook, was there for every meeting to try to help us go through whatever permits we needed and the things that we needed to do. And so to you and to Thomas and to the other folks on your staff, we're very grateful to the city of Indianapolis. And you know, it's amazing how many people have to help us, but I want to personally thank Jim Irsay and Pete Ward and the whole Colts organization, because we couldn't do this at Lucas Oil Stadium without their help. So please, round of applause for our Indianapolis Colts. You know, it's been amazing, the response that we got from the hotels, many hoteliers here. We're very grateful to you. The restaurants who have already committed their space, and the other venues in town that we're holding, who all committed to say, yes, we will hold our space for official events for the NBA All-Star Game. So for all our partners, our hotels, our venues, our restaurants, thank you all very much. And we certainly couldn't do this without our Pacer Sports Entertainment staff. Mariah Bird, who's here, has done a great job, just a wonderful job from the time we did the bid all the way through today, and will be here and hopefully helping us make this the best place, anything that we've ever done on NBA All-Star wise. John Ball, Todd Taylor, Bill Benner, Frank Polisi, Quinn Buckner, who helped us with the bid as well. And this last young lady who is our Senior Vice President of Facilities, Mel Raines, I'd ask her to stand. She will serve as the President of the local organizing committee. I'd also like to thank Conrad Picciarello and Terry Lingner, who are here someplace right here. These two young men are unbelievably creative souls. They help us all the time with what you see inside before a Pacer game and so many other things around this city. I know they worked on the Super Bowl, they've worked on so many other events, and they helped us put this bid together. We went in, when we did the bid, and this is the bid package we put together, this is flanked by the All-Star Game piece from 1985. But we went up there and they did some virtual reality. They did a lot of different things that I think really just wowed some people, so we thank you. And I know Kevin Pritchard thanked Larry Bird, but we were in a meeting one day and he said, how are we going to deliver that bid? And I said, well, I'd really like for Larry, and he was sitting down at the table, and I said, really like for Larry to deliver it down in New York in an IndyCar. And Herb looked at me like, I can't even believe you asked that. But Larry said, okay. And we took him out to the Speedway, and he got in that car and says, yeah, I can do it. He was a little afraid of the brakes. We were hoping to get it done, but unbelievable for him to roll up at the NBA office. So Larry, thank you for making this happen. Thank you. And as we go forward, there's a lot of years, but the planning starts today. So I want to announce 4 people who I'm very proud that will serve with us as co-chairs for our local organizing committee. First, on my left, please stand Asif Badeh, the president of Ambrose Properties. Our friend will be a Hall of Famer. She's the Director of Player Programs and Franchise Development and founder of Catch the Stars Foundation, our friend Tamika Catchings. This next young lady used to be a member of the Pacers staff, and she worked hard. It's been a while ago, but our friend, our civic leader and philanthropist, and our great friend Cindy Simon Scott. And last but not least, the man, Rafael Sanchez. He's the president, CEO of Indianapolis Power and Light. He keeps us warm, keeps our lights on. This will be a wonderful group. I think it's a dream team for me to be able to have these folks who will help run this every day, and we'll do a lot of things. And one thing we promise is that we're going to do our best to redefine the All-Star Game. We know we have a lot of things to do that we have to do because the NBA wants us to do them. But we want to redefine it for future host cities so that they'll remember that Indianapolis did this. And so they'll have to do this better than we did. But we'll see. And finally, I've had the fortune, as we've said, to be part of this team and this league for nearly 35 years. And it continues to amaze me how we all come together in times of need. And because we have friends who can help in times of need, we're here today to celebrate Herb's great friend, Stephen Berman. Stephen, if you'll stand, please. He's the CEO of Jack's Pacific Toys. And we'll celebrate Stephen tonight because once again, for I think the 9th year in a row, he has supplied us with thousands of toys that we have been able to distribute throughout cities in Indiana to children who otherwise would not have them, working with the Indiana National Guard in those cities that we've gone to. So Stephen, we're very grateful. But he took it one more step this year. We're close teams, and we have 3 brethren teams in the Miami Heat, and the Orlando Magic, and the Houston Rockets, who all suffered in their communities this year obviously great tragedy because of the hurricanes. And Stephen said to us one day, as Herb and I were talking to him on the phone, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to give toys to those 3 teams as well. And he did that. And so because of the relationship with Herb, because of the relationship with the NBA, we were able to also serve through those teams other underprivileged kids and kids who really needed it in other cities. So Stephen, thank you very much. We're grateful to all of you for coming out today. We look forward to seeing you at all the Pacer games between now and 2021. We'll sell you a 4-year ticket, no problem at all. And we look forward to the game tonight. And thank you all very, very much.
Thank you, Rick. We appreciate that. And that wraps up today's special announcement on the NBA All-Star 2020. Right now, we'd like to ask our participants to gather up on the stage for a special photo opportunity. Afterwards, our special guest, plus Larry Bird, will be available for interviews with the media. I'd like to thank all of our special guests, along with everyone in the audience here today, as well as those joining us on NBA TV, Fox Sports Indiana, as well as those watching live and live streamed on NBA.com, the NBA app, Pacers.com, NBA and Pacers FaceTime Live. Love it, I love it, I love it. Please feel free to share your thoughts on this exciting announcement on social media using hashtag Indy All-Star 2021. Again, that's Indy, hashtag All-Star 2021. And anyone interested in learning about Indianapolis All-Star Game 2021, including volunteer opportunities, can visit Pacers.com/All-Star 2021. That will do it from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. I'm Quinn Buckner. So long from Indianapolis. God bless you.